Yo, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. And today I'm going to be showing you my Washington offensive ebook. This is going to be part 1, everything against cover 3. Okay, so first things first, formation. We are going to be running out of gun bunch for the most part. There is going to be a couple plays out of single back wing tight and I form wing that I show you, but that will be in different videos. So first we are going to be going over our audibles. You are going to change out spacing switch to mesh post and verticals to inside cross. This is your ideal setup. Now I have the ball placed at my own 45. If you're in this situation, you're going to want to go ahead and go down to bunch trail. You can also do Z spot and go. I'll show you how to set both of those up because you don't want to pick a play that is already in your audibles, or you can go out to that clear out FLN. And for this, I'm going to be going cover 3 sky out of nickel. Okay, so right here, this is pretty simple. So you can either just roll out and take your chances, which, as you see, we get block shedded right there. So, and a lot of people rock an edge threat, so what I like to do is go over, double team that guy all the way to the right, so that I'm able to roll out, and then ideally you'll have a roaming deadeye. In this case, I do not, but we're still able to hit that. It is going to absolutely burn cover 3 every time because you have that corner route and then you also have that post route. Now, this play is still good in many other ways because all these other checkdowns. I like to put A on a drag because he's on an option, or no, it's not A. A is on that, so B is on an option from a drag or he just stops. So I like to put him on a full drag, and then you can hit him in stride. He'll pick up some yards, as actually I think we're on our own 40. Yeah, we're on the own 40. And then A, also, that will break down after the play materializes, or in this case, he's going to be wide open, but sometimes they'll use that. But generally, you'll have that pop open. And then that corner route is just there to drop the coverage. It's never going to get open. Okay, and if you can't find anything, you should have that check down to the running back. And that is pretty much everything with that play against cover 3, at least. So we're going to choose our next play against cover 3. As we are going to come out in this Z spot and go. Okay, you can also do Z spot, just depends on what your opponent's doing. Now, a lot of the times they're going to use one of those two linebackers, which are generally subbed out as safeties, that are in the middle of the field playing those hook curls. So they are going to see that tight end, and they're going to play that. Now, you're never going to leave this corner for what is Terry McLaurin right now, so that X receiver, you're going to put him on a slant, or if you want what we saw earlier, you can toss him on a post. Now, that's going to break it because you have your post and the corner, but I'm going to be showing you this slant, how it works, as we're going to get block shedded. And you see right there, he is going to bust through the center right there. It is perfect. You are always going to get that stop and go route. And then, if you want, you can toss Y on a swing. I prefer the swings, but as we are just getting absolutely shedded on that side because Washington's O-line is terrible. But yeah, and then you can also, sometimes if they're running cover 3 sky, you're going to have that check down to your tight end, like I just showed. But you're going to have that Y check down, you're going to have that A check down, B is going to get open, and then depending on where the user, X will sometimes get open. As you see, you can dot him right away, and he will catch that on the possession. And other times, you might have to, for say, you plan on rolling out, maybe trying to throw the corner, but you see it's cover 3. Now, X won't get open unless you playmaker, but A is going to pop open right there because that is going to pull that curl flat back, because really even that corner is pulling the curl flat back, so that leaves your tight end wide open. Now, you can also toss your tight end on this streak route. Now, I tested this. It is insanely glitchy, because you are going to have your tight end going straight up the field, and you're also going to have that stop and go. So that middle third is only going to play one of them. And if you really want, toss the post right there. That middle third cannot play all 3 of those. As long as you get the time in the pocket, something's going to pop open. I really like this stop and go route just because it cuts the center. But that is pretty much it for this play. I'm going to try and throw it one time right there. Or I think you can also just go with right bump also, because it doesn't really matter too much. And as you see, right bump, ooh, okay, that actually played it. But generally that will not get played, and your right bump will pop open as long as he is fast enough. But that is pretty much all I wanted to show for this, I believe, as I really want to hit right bump, but it's a lot easier just to hit that route straight through the center. I can't show you press, but press is where that right bump is really going to be great. Also, A, whichever one you decide to streak, it is going to destroy press cover 3. But I cannot press the defense here. So, we're just going to go ahead into our next play. And the next play we are going to run is that clear out, which really, this play revolves a lot around beating the seam, because right bump should pop open and A should pop open. They are both insane routes. Now, I like to put X on a slant. You can also toss him on a post. I only like tossing him on a post if it is cover 2 man. If it's regular man, you can leave the route, honestly. This is a great play, especially if they press down, because as you see, that middle third is playing over to the other side of the field. So if they press, that guy's going to drop even more. And of course, you have that slant. You can just toss that right away against that cover 3. And then Y. Y is a really glitchy route on this play, because as you see right here, it is a check and release route across the field. Now, even if the guy puts hard flats on the field, that will generally get open, and if it doesn't, you're going to have X open. So if he's running like cover 3 cloud or cover 3 hard flats, you'll have Y probably get covered, but X will go right over the top and beat that. This play, it's just really, it's really cooked. You just have to know when to run it, and you're going to throw those streaks. We are going to be going to our next play, which, let me just go ahead, and I can actually audible to it, as mesh post is going to be the next play against cover 3. And what we are going to be looking for here is, if you want, once again, you can streak Sims, and he might get open. You can look for that route because it is the seam, and that works really well. And then if you're going to do that, I suggest drag routing Thomas. So you're A, and then you just pass lead it back, secure catch. He's going to get that every time. You do not have to worry about it. And the reason I like this is, if you see, now this does not work against every cover 3. It works against literally anything that has those 2 hook curls. Okay, if they just have one in the center, this play generally does not work, or it does not work as well. And I'm going to be showing you how this works against that regular now. But first, actually, let's go ahead, audible here. Now, say they're using that post because they see you throwing it. Well, good thing is you're going to have those 2 drag routes, which is generally what they're going to use her at first. And those drag routes come in clutch. And like I said, you can streak A, you can streak right bump as well. I'm just throwing these kind of late because if you actually throw it at the right time, they will hit those. See, right there. Perfect. You have to have great timing on those, so those streak routes aren't necessarily what you want to go to. They are kind of risky. You have to have great timing, but if you are a good player, you are going to be able to hit those. Now, we're going to go ahead and choose our next play on offense and defense, which we are just going to stick with mesh post right now. Or actually, let's toss halfback slip screen, since this is a play I like to run against cover 3. But let's find one where they only run one in the middle. Okay, we can do this corner blitz, honestly. So if they're corner blitzing and you see that they're running the same play over and over again, they only have that one in the center, bam. You can especially drop this off on a corner blitz. That it just works great. And also if they are running like one of those inside things like I showed earlier, or like it showed up. But yeah, say that they have the one in the center, as you see, as it actually is not anywhere near there. So I'm gonna playmaker that. Playmakers are really your bread and butter to go to. If something does not work out, just tap up on that right stick typically, as that was not a good pass. But if you tap up on right stick, you are going to be in great position, which now we're going to go ahead and go to our next play against cover 3, and that's going to be this inside cross play. Okay, now you're mainly going to be looking for B and Y, and there's a ton of stuff you can do with A. And really, I love doing anything and everything I can with A, just to throw off my opponent. So, say I'm in here on inside cross, and he's using one of the guys in the middle or something, and he starts to use those drags because I'm throwing them a ton. I can motion this out, and look how glitchy that is. It's going to get wide open. And just so that he starts focusing on this tight end, like say I really want him just focusing on the tight end, and that is it. As actually I screwed up there because I was still on halfback screen. But say that I want him focusing on that tight end. I can just drag him if I want, and he's going to beat Y, which is going to either leave him wide open or it will leave Y wide open. And then you can straight up just drag him there, because if you watch B, he stays there for a second, and you're going to probably have both of them open at some point. So all those drags are great against any sort of cover 3 that is not hard flats, which most cover 3s aren't. You can also streak this A right there. As you see, does not get open, but we had B wide open. We had Y wide open. That's the main things you want to go to, because a lot of these cover 3s are not going to be your traditional, or they are your traditional plays where you have curl flats, seam flats. You are not putting hard flats. Sometimes there's clouds, but generally not. You rarely have hard flats on the field, and that is great about this play, as he's actually going to drop that. But you just need to know which read to make between these two receivers, because B and Y are going to be great. And once again, X, you never want to leave them on that corner. You want to have them on that slant just in case they do audible down to like a cloud or a hard flat, to try and stop those underneath routes. That is all the plays here. So if we go into the playbook once again, I'm just going to go through all the plays that we covered. We covered mesh post, clear out FLN, inside cross, bunch trail, Z spot, and go. Z spot also works if the user is starting to user that double moves or stop and go route. And halfback slip screen. You can run the ball if you want. It works against pretty much anything. I just don't care to run the ball. But yeah, that's going to do it for part 1 of the ebook, Everything Against Cover 3. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'm out. Peace.